Did that today, what's your evaluation of that effort?
Yeah, I just the way we went out in the fourth quarter, won the game. That's something we talked about. That off week and digesting the Oregon game. It's like it's one thing to have stats. It's one thing to get turnovers and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you got to win the game in the fourth quarter. That's it. So we're down by 3 in the fourth quarter. We put a drive together, score a touchdown, and then the defense gets stops like that. Like that to me is what we got to do if we're going to win these games. And the truth is we don't always find ourselves in games like that. Now we're going to look back and find that we should not be in games like this. Quite honestly, and that's just the way we look at it. But we are. They're give Nebraska credit and Matt and the job they did. They had a hard time the week before. We knew they were going to come out and play us really hard. That's playing in the Big Ten, but to me that was the idea. Like I kept saying, that go win. How are we going to win the game? We talked about that in the off season or in the off week. We did that, so that we can build on. But certainly, if we're going to go 1 for 10 on third down, if we're going to run football the way we did in this game, we're going to be in a tough spot in terms of putting the defense in the situations they were in, and also the turnover. So. But I do like the way we kept playing, even after a couple of unfortunate things that went on. We got to leave no doubt. We can't leave it up to a call, and that mentality is what we kept talking about. And the crowd, got into it there in the fourth quarter and helped for sure. So I think being in these situations for this team is going to help us move forward. Just what do we got to do to get going? And then we got to find a way to win the game in the fourth quarter. And that feeling that you're talking about right there is where when we find ourselves in these matchup games. It's almost like the first time you're in that feeling. Okay, like how do we got to go do this? Well, we got to get the guys together, figure out how we're going to go win the game, and then go do it. And part of it is for the coaches to put the players in the right situation to be successful. But part of it is the players to go win the game. And it's our job as coaches to make sure we give them the right environment to go take over the game. And I thought we did that today on defense.
All right,
The demeanor was the way we were, we were playing, we were flying around, we were getting lined up. A lot of things to build on there coming out of the game. Again, on offense, we got to do a better job in a few different areas there. So that we got to get back to the drawing board and figure that part out because we got a big challenge here against Penn State.
Coach, thank you.
The holes aren't there, and you're just
Yeah, just staying poised and not being too high, not being too low in those situations. It's a 4-quarter game, and just believing in my teammates. So I know those guys can go out there and execute. So I'm not going to give up on them or just be frustrated that the plays don't work. Just continue to go out there and just try to execute.
over to the right. Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Joe, we haven't talked to you since
I'm sure you already asked this, but just kind of how did you assess things today from your perspective?
I mean, people are saying we had a really good defensive performance. I think we could have been so much better. And I hope that we'll get back to the film and we'll review this stuff and we'll see where we can be better. And there will be stuff, and we could always have a more perfect game. So that's what we're striving for.
Did you guys feel like you were really tuned into what they were going to do with the screen game? It seemed like you were on top of all those no matter where they were.
I mean, they definitely had a lot of screens. We knew they were going to be a screen team, but it was a lot more than maybe we expected. But we want to be prepared for it, and coaches made us prepared, so we're good.
Penn State, what do you think that scene will be like next week? You've already had one tough road game with Oregon, probably about the same.
But, I mean, we already know Penn State's environment's crazy, but it'll be how we can handle all the outside noise and just really the focus is going back to work this week.
I know you wanted to make a statement after the Oregon game. What kind of statement? What would you say this was? What kind of statement did you make today?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we came win in the fourth quarter. Was the game perfect? No, but when the chips came down to the end and when it all came down, we can get a stop and we can finish off the game.
About this football team at this moment.
At the end of the day, we got the W. So, to get a win is better than a lot of teams across the country having lost. So, we won, we're able to move to the next week, so we're going to keep going. Cody talked about that's definitely a big deal for us. We go out there every single game, every single down, every single play. We go out there and think that the defense hasn't won the game, no matter how good the offense is doing. We put it on our shoulders that the defense hasn't made plays and stop them. We know what to help the offense.
First down, man. That's what we talk about. We got to get that first down. And the first play, I thought it was a great play call. Versus their quarter, they were running cover 3 again on that play, and it was perfect. Carnell did a good job getting some extra yards, and once we had that, I felt like there wasn't any stopping us. And once we kind of get momentum going, man, like that's that's what we need. We need to just get that first down, 1 or 2 first downs, and then once we get that, we got to get rolling. We can't stall out. We're way too explosive of an offense to stall out like we did in the third quarter.
Over to the right, Bill Revision.
I really don't know. Something I'm going to have to go back and look at the film on. I don't think we ran the ball as well as we wanted to today, and that a lot of our passes were in the play action world. So if you can't run the ball, it's kind of hard to get into the play action world. But I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if there's one thing that we can put our finger on. But we got to go back and look at the film and get it corrected, because we're in the playoffs now, and this is every game is the most important game. And we can't afford to put a performance out there that we're not proud of like today. And I think today will wake us up and remind us that we got to just continue to grind every single day, every single week, and not ever get complacent, man, because you never know. And especially I think Nebraska does some good things defensively. I think they change up some looks on us. They do some funky stuff up front, so credit to them. But we were able to get it done, and a win is a win.
Over to the
Yeah,
left.
I think they did some interesting things up front, and that definitely messed with our run game a little bit. I think they had like 2 blitzes that were like perfectly called into our runs. I don't know how that happens, but it's just part of the game. Sometimes it's a chess game, and they made some good moves. Deep ball wise, we hit the ones that we had to, and I think it was good, and I'm not gonna give myself a grade on it until I watch the film. I think I maybe held up Carnell just a little bit. Maybe just want to push him down the field a little more, make it a little bit easier on him. But we got the perfect looks. We knew we wanted that play to Carnell versus cover 4 mini. We got it. We wanted to get in the condensed formation, get them into their cloud check, and get the rover down for just a step. And you ain't catching them forward down the middle, so just put it up and let them go run under it.
Over to the left, Rob Aller.
That's a good question. I think you can go either way with that. I think you can say, if you can't run the ball, it makes it harder to throw the ball, play action wise. But I think at the same time, I try not to worry about that. It's one play at a time. Just execute what I have to do, what my job is. Obviously, we want to run the ball better than we did and get ourselves ahead of the sticks more. But for me, I wouldn't say it changes anything, man. My job is my job every single play, and I'm just trying to take it one play at a time.
Over to the right,
I'm stoked. I cannot wait. It's going to be a homecoming for me. I grew up a Penn State fan. I wanted to go there my whole life. They didn't think I was good enough, but I guess we'll see next week if I was.
Great.